All right, good to catch up with former LSU cornerback Kristian Fulton as he gets ready for the NFL draft in unusual circumstances, like everybody right now. We're all living in a different world. How has this lockdown, this quarantine, changed your prep? Obviously, you can't be in the weight room every day. You can't go work out with 50 guys or whatever. But what are you able to do right now?
Just kind of use what's around me. Just being back in Baton Rouge right now. I stay by the levee, so I'm able, use the levee, just as to help me work out. That's running. Main thing is really staying in shape. You never know when time is going to end. So just main thing being in shape. I'm able to, get some drill work in with Ryan Clark, and some of the other guys like Grant. Just staying in shape and in football shape.
Did you get a pro day in like those guys did yesterday? I saw Grant over at Parkview Baptist getting something in. I know you did the combine, so maybe you already
Yeah.
put on paper what you want to put on.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't do anything with those guys. Like you said, just I felt like I did a really good job at the combine, and just glad to see those guys, back healthy, and showing the teams what they can do.
Tell me about the combine experience. This is something that not every player gets to do. Obviously, there were a lot more LSU players this year. Y'all had y'all had a pretty good season and earned those spots. What was it like going through that process? What was unexpected about it? What was kind of the highlight of it for you?
It was a fun deal, very long deal too. Also, just meeting the other guys, other top prospects, that was pretty cool. And hanging out with them on the time that we could. But the highlight of it for me, was just doing everything that I knew I could do. Putting good film out there, on the drills. Also, being smooth with that. Running a fast 40. I know a lot of people, question, what my time would be. So really just answering all the questions, and putting a face to the background, the story, and all that on me. That was pretty cool for me, to do that. Uh, um, I mean, the only thing I would say, that was tough about it, was just, the long days, and all the testing, that kind of, kind of they try to get to you mentally, and try to see where your head is. But, I feel like I was prepared for, really well, and combine training with Mo. Also, just my years at LSU.
The interview process where you're talking to teams. I know you're still doing that now with kind of like we're doing. You can do it virtually. What are some of the questions that you've been asked most? Like what are you kind of hearing from teams most that they want to know about you?
Just how I like to play the game, as a corner. Also, just asking them how they want to know how versatile can I be. Whether that's at corner, following them on receiver, or also moving into the slot, being able come in, run support. Those are the main things. They're not really too worried about what I thought they would be worried about, which is like interception production, but they know that's not gonna always be there. But as long as you're doing your job, that's big for them.
So that sets me up for a question I wanted to ask you. Talking about interception production, you probably had like the most jaded career I've ever seen, or most unlucky career I've ever seen in terms of like interceptions called back or negated by a penalty or overturned incorrectly. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, you can laugh about it now, but what was that like going through that as your career? But also, teams, I imagine teams they get it. Like they see the film and they see just because the referees got the call wrong, oh, you still made an NFL type of play there. So how do you kind of balance that?
Um, well, me, just personally, just a personal thing. I like to just let them know that I can still, make those plays. Whether they got to see them or not. But it's big for me. Just letting them know that those plays can be made and will be made. Whichever organization. And like you said, it's all on film. Even the plays where they don't throw it to my side, I feel like I'm in really good position, to make a play or make that interception. So, like you said, they can always revert back to the film and see that he's going to be in position, to make those plays.
Obviously, LSU has a legacy of guys at your position coming out. Does that help you in this draft process? Does it hurt you? Do people see it as, oh, LSU thinks they put out all these DBs, or is it the opposite? Do they say, look, if that guy can make it at LSU and be the top DB there, we know we can count on him?
Uh, yeah, definitely. I think they see it both ways. It's helpful for me, just being able to talk to those guys, that's come before me that was in my position, just to give me, a heads up on what to expect. Like just talking to Tre'Davious, before the combine, he gave me a good heads up, what to expect, just how to go about meeting with the coaches and, some film prep or board work. It's definitely helpful for us, and I think that's why, the long line just keeps going, because the guys ahead of, love to get back to us, and help us out, and I'll be sure to do the same thing when the guys under me, come up getting ready for the combine.
Yeah, you got a few behind you that'll be in your shoes really soon.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
last offseason, personally, I was nervous that you were going to go because I just thought you had a good enough year and you were going to go ahead and take that shot at the NFL. And just, selfishly, I was nervous because I knew how much you could help the team this year. Obviously, you
Right.
came back and it worked out really well. And we'll talk about that in a second. But what did you get out of that fourth year? I know going back when you were making the decision, the opportunity to play another year was big to you. But what did you get out of this fourth year? Not the accomplishments. We'll talk about those in a second, but just, the experience of playing another year at the college level.
Really just like you said, being able to play, at the school that I dreamed of playing at, you come here and you expect to get, 3 full years of playing. And I felt like I had more to give to LSU, just with them being with me, through that suspension, through that time, I felt like I definitely, had it in me and wanted to, give back, to LSU and give my all. And I knew it was better things, I could put on film. Also just helping the team, come back and win a championship, that was all big for me. And then personally, becoming a more vocal leader, being a leader to the guys in my room, the corners room. So I felt like that was something that's definitely, helped me, grow as a person on and off the field. They did. Just, that can help me, elevate myself at the next level.
Yeah, you didn't have a choice with leadership in that cornerback room because they
I
were
did.
they were so young. I mean, you had to be the vocal guy in there. What was that experience like? Because I know that's not necessarily the role that comes to you naturally to be the vocal type leader. You're more of a do it by example guy. But what did that experience, being the veteran in a room full of freshmen and babies, what was that experience like for you?
It was definitely fun. They were always on me. Like you said, they're always watching when you don't think they are. And Coach Raymond had to put that through, get that through to me. So it was definitely fun. Having those guys under me. They was always on me. Looking to make sure I didn't make a mistake. So they held me to a high standard, and I appreciate that of them. And like I said, it was fun. Watching the game grow. You knew it was a special group once they all got there, in the summer. Just watching those guys, grow and elevate their game, it was cool to see for sure.
I remember at media day for the national championship game, pulling you aside and talking to you for 3 or 4 minutes, just about playing in New Orleans and finishing off your career there. That was before the game. Now it's a few months after the game, but you won a national championship in your hometown. Just kind of take me back through that experience for you emotionally, what you were feeling playing in that game, the big plays, the big moments. Just what do you remember about that day?
I just remember, just taking it step by step. Kind of just want to, sit in the moment, and realize, all the work that you put in, that it's finally paid off. I don't really remember much during the game because it was just, I don't know, the emotions just were high the whole game. But it was definitely, a great thing to do, and just to do it in your hometown. Have everybody watching either at the game or at home. Just knowing that we brought, joy to the state of Louisiana, that they ain't had in a long time. It was fun, and me and a lot of the guys, will be remembered forever for that. So it's just still a high feeling, just being off that national championship, man. It was a good deal for us.
How much sleep did you get after the game?
I got about I'd say about 3-4 hours of sleep. 3-4 hours of sleep.
That's better. That's better than I did. I made it an hour. I got a good hour of sleep. So
Ooh,
you did
yeah,
better than
that's
me.
tough.
That recovery, like that next week of trying to catch up on rest, that was pretty painful,
Yes,
but it's worth it.
for real.
Okay, so what's a team getting in Kristian Fulton when these NFL GMs sit down with you and these scouts sit down with you and they ask you what you're going to bring to the table? What are kind of the points that you're emphasizing with them? What are they getting in Kristian Fulton?
Just a versatile, defensive back. A guy that can come in, and basically, do what I need, do what they need me to do. Like I said, just being at LSU, I was, tasked, just to be at corner and maybe follow number one receiver, or just lock down that side of the field. I feel like I can do that, but also, I haven't been able to show, just being inside that nickel, whether that's blitzing, covering the slot. I can do all those things for them. To get a smart football player, a guy who just likes to compete at the highest level at that. A hard worker, and somebody that's just gonna bring in that winning mentality. Just being successful at the high school level, winning championship, and then having a national championship. I kind of have an idea of what a championship team should look like, and especially what a championship defensive back room has to do, to reach those goals or to maintain that standard. So I feel like that's what I bring to a team, and I feel like everybody doesn't really have those experiences that I can bring for sure.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm an NFL GM, like I just look at you, I just think consistency. Like you're just a guy that every game, every snap, you're going to do your job, and you don't have to worry about Kristian Fulton. Like you just put him on one side of the field, and that side of the field is going to be taken care of, and he's going to be good to go. I got a couple questions for you that we've been asking everybody, all the guys that we're interviewing. The first one, hold on, let me find them on here. Okay, the emotions that you're going to feel when your name's called on draft day, when the commissioner reads out your name, or I don't know what the setup's going to be this year with the virtual setup, but when you get that phone call, when you hear your name called, what are the emotions that are going to run through your head at that time?
Probably just all the emotions, just when I was suspended, just all the times where I was out indoor, just working out by myself. Probably me and one other guy, just all the hard work, that I did throughout that time, that's led me, to perform these last 2 years. I feel like, that's definitely, going to be on my mind to know that, like I said, I felt like at that time I was working for nothing, and then coming drafted, with your name card. I feel like I definitely, don't regret, not, putting in the work. I definitely, did what I had to do to fill this moment.
Okay, I'm going to go off course here for a second, because as you were talking about that, it made me think of something. Do you pay attention? I mean, this is just a yes or no question. Do you pay attention at all to like what people are writing about you right now or saying about you in the draft process, or you kind of filter all that out?
I do my best, to filter it out, because just at the end of the day, can nobody affect what's going to go on in the future. I'm the only person that's going to affect that. Some people may knock my game, some people may give me high praise, but at the end of the day, it's going to be all on me. So a little bit.
Well, so the reason I ask, I don't want to put stuff in your head, but as I was prepping for this, I was reading this draft report on you, and under weaknesses, the first thing it said was suspended all of 2017. And when I read that, I was almost like, and again, I'm biased. I covered you for a long time. I work for LSU, whatever. But I would put that under strengths, because I feel like you came out of that a different man, a different person. And what I learned about you personally through that, the way that you kept working, stuck with it, didn't put your head down. I mean, that impressed me more than, getting an interception versus Ole Miss or Arkansas or whatever, because you showed your character. And it kind of, to me, it connects me to this time, because a lot of us right now, we're kind of sitting here waiting for things to get back to normal. We're getting impatient. We're getting frustrated. And I'm always looking for things to cheer me up or make me optimistic, or role models or whatever. And to me, the way that you persevered through that is different. It's a different situation, but just that consistency, that persistence, that patience, to me is what's going to get us all through this. To me, I would put that as a strength. I would make that a strength for Kristian Fulton, because I think you came out of that stronger. How did that time period change your perspective? How did you get through that time period? How did it prepare you for this moment?
Just knowing, I feel like knowing my love of the game, for the game, it kind of, pushed me to, just become a better player, even off the field. When I say off the field, just becoming a better football player, because a lot of people, don't see that side, the work that you put in, in the film room, just studying other people, it's definitely, taking my game to IQ to another level. And just, I say just being able to, just keep my head down and grind. Like you said, it's a lot of people, that was talking, made me the bad guy, which I mean I was, but like they kind of like they didn't want to let it go. Kind of like how you said, like it's kind of brought up in every article that's read about me. So just learning how to ignore the outside noise or block out the noise, like Coach will say. Definitely, something that I had to learn and deal with. And I feel like, that's definitely, going to help me at the next level. Because like you said, it's going to be a lot of people, coming at you, trying to downplay your game or something like that. I mean, I feel like that's my situations in the past, are going to help me, just to rely on what I did back then to help me get through it now.
Yeah, a lot of guys can talk about coming to work every day and putting their head down. You've shown that you can do that. So I think the smart teams will see that and recognize that, and that's why you're going to go as high as you will. All right, a couple more questions that we're asking everybody. Just a good luck message to your teammates. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of guys picked from LSU this year. I think we have a list of like 20 guys that we're trying to get in touch with. So there's a bunch of y'all. A lot of y'all will be called in the draft. A lot of y'all will sign as free agents. What's your message to those guys? Just wishing them luck and congratulating them on their next step.
Yeah, definitely want to wish them, the best of luck. Just got to let them know, guys are playing for them. A lot of guys didn't get to, do their pro days or go to the combine, and just want to let them know, to keep their head down, keep grinding. Anytime they need me to, help them out, reach out to somebody, to put them in a better position. I'm here for them for sure.
Another thing I thought of as you were talking about that, when you're giving tape to teams, can you give them practice tape from LSU? Because I feel like that would be as valuable as anything, like going up against Jamar and Terrace and Justin and Joe Burrow at quarterback. Like, I feel like that's as good as anything.
Definitely. I mean, a few teams brought that up. I'm like, y'all want to see the games, that we play on Saturday. I'm like, y'all need to go watch the film that we do on Tuesdays and Wednesdays going against each other. I mean, I definitely, recommended that. It's definitely, a lot of competition. And then you talking about, the best going against the best in college football. So it's definitely something they should go look at.
Yeah, competition Tuesday is where you're going to get the best tape, probably better even than some Saturdays. Okay, a couple more that we're asking everybody. Kind of like you were just talking to the teammates. What's your message to the LSU fans, and just kind of a thank you to them and what they've meant to you over the last few years?
Man, they meant a lot. Like I said, I told a few recruits and even people I just talked to, you're not gonna get a better college experience coming to LSU. You know what I mean? Just being so welcome. I never felt like, even going through my situation, I never felt like the outcast, around campus or just even the locker room. So the fans always, showed me a lot of love being here, and I'm just thankful, for them coming out to the spring games, the games, anything, fan day. They just been great to all of us, and I really appreciate them for everything, for real.
What will you miss most about being an LSU Tiger?
Definitely, I'd definitely say game day. It's just a great feeling, and just seeing everybody, come out support, that buzz down through campus. Then you walk down Victory Hill. I definitely say, I'm going to miss it. And the everybody, going to get you hyped up like Coach Moffitt and the staff. So it's definitely that's definitely what I'm going to miss the most.
All right, Kristian, it's been great catching up with you, man. Let's get out of here on this note. Give me like your favorite moments of the season, whether it's individual plays that you made, whether it's Lloyd probably gave me one of the best stories so far. He talked about Coach Robinson giving a speech before the Alabama game and knowing like, okay, we're gonna win this game, because it was just like he called it like it was from like a sports movie, just like this epic speech. It can be anything. It can be something that as obvious as touching the national championship trophy, or maybe there's like a smaller story off to the side that nobody saw. But what are some of the moments you'll take away from this last season?
To be honest, it's crazy, but I never even touched the championship trophy yet. I haven't.
That's messed
up. The only time I barely even seen it, because they was on the stage with the trophy. After that, I don't know where the trophy went at, and I haven't been back to the ops, so I gotta go pass over there and see it. But my favorite moments, definitely I say senior night. Man, that night was special. I just felt like everybody was clicking. The fans were into it as much as they can be. It was just a special night. You know, it was definitely definitely the funnest game I played in for sure. What else? Also, you got Coach O for the UCF game. So at halftime, he came in riled up and all that stuff, and he had two players, you know, kind of like full pads on, helmet on, go at each other in the locker room, and it was fun. It was funny. What else?
I've heard that story before. I remember somebody was in the locker room and came out after and was like, they just did Big Cat in the halftime locker room. Like they just did a full on Big Cat.
that stuff was so funny for real, man. And, I'm gonna definitely, you know, just say, you know, Bama. I'm gonna go Bama. You know, just off the fact that, you know, just making that it was a proven game for us. It was definitely, you know, one of the funnest games we played in. The biggest game, you know, just bringing that win back. It kind of, you know, set the tone, you know, that we were about to go on that special run.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All special memories, all special nights. It reminds me of a tweet that I just retweeted that I saw about you, and it was Kristian Fulton versus T. Higgins, Jerry Jeudy, and Henry Ruggs. 11 targets, 3 catches, 39 yards, no touchdowns, 3 PBUs. I mean, you know, I don't pay much attention to the mock drafts and all that stuff, but I think your production speaks for itself. Your film speaks for itself. So appreciate your time today, Kristian. Great catching up with you. Good luck.
Yes,
and looking forward to seeing what's up next for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, no problem.